Welcome to Creative Tien channel. Today we have an easy project. We want to sew a large size mouse pad. The mouse pad we have at home are usually small. This one is around 8 inches by 8 inches. And when you are working with the mouse pad, sometimes we go out of the space and then we have to keep moving the mouse pad around to adjust it. So it'll be really nice to have a larger size mouse pad. And you can buy it online, but the choice is limited and you might not like the pattern choice they have. And it's actually very easy to make. I have a layer of the cotton fabric and a layer of fleece. Just these two layers will make a nice smooth mouse pad. Maybe you want to use the fleece side. Just do a test first to make sure it's functional. And the size is really a personal choice. Some people like a really big mouse pad that covers the whole desk. And I'm just using what I have at hand. This is about 18 inches by 14 inches. The fabric I have here is actually a tea towel or kitchen towel from IKEA. So it's already finished on the sides. And I use part of it for a different project, so it's cut on one side. And the other side is the fleece fabric. The reason for using the fleece, first it gives that thickness, so it doesn't move too much. It has that friction for the back of the mouse pad, so it doesn't slide around when you use it as a mouse pad. And also the fleece doesn't fray. So you can just cut it and leave the raw edge. It's not going to fray like the woven fabric. So you don't have to finish the edges if you don't want to. Before you start any sewing project, it's always a good idea to wash the fabric first and then give it an iron. So if it shrinks, there's no surprise later after you wash it. And yes, this will be a washable mouse pad. When it gets dirty, you can just throw it into the washing machine. And the idea is very simple. Just connect these two pieces together. There are many different ways of sewing the two pieces together. And since I already have the finished edge on this fabric, I'm going to keep finishing the other side and just overlap on each other and just sew around the four sides. Another way to sew is by flipping the edges of the cotton fabric. You can flip twice so you enclose the raw edges, and it's the same on the other side. If you already have finished edge, it's easier. You just flip once. If it's raw edge, you can flip twice like that, and then pin it up and just sew it on top, 1 or 2 lines. So that's the method I'm going to do for this project today. I'm going to draw the straight line on 4 sides to make sure it's all straight and the corner is 90 degrees. And since we are going to flip the sides over, so we will leave a little bit space here for the thickness of the fleece, like that. So we have to consider that little gap here. That will decide how big you want to cut the fleece. It'll be like that. So draw your line and cut it. I already cut the bottom side, and you can see the right side. I leave a little bit space here so we can turn, and it allows the thickness of the fleece. For the finished sides, like this cotton, you only need to leave a little space so you can turn. But for the unfinished side, we'll have to leave the 2 times of this width plus the gap. Now you can see the line I draw. I leave a little gap next to the fleece and then 2 times of the width of the seam. So I'm going to cut from the bottom line here and fold it into the same edge like this one. If you don't have the finished edge to begin with, you can just measure from the fleece. The fleece will be about the final size of the mouse pad. As you can see, the corner will be very thick, so we should trim out some corner first. I'm trying to do a 45-degree mitered corner here so it will look nicer. Because some of the edges are already finished, so I have to use a seam ripper and take off some stitches. And I mark the folding line so you can see I have the purple line. And then we are going to draw a 45-degree angle on the innermost crossing. And we draw a 45-degree line here. Now I draw a line here, and actually I'm going to cut about 1/4 inch away from the line. Just cut off all the bulk first, and then we'll start sewing. And that's what it looks like after I cut the corner fabric. And next step, I'm just going to fold in half like that, matching the edge we just cut. I put a pin there. So you can see this is a 45-degree line. That's the line we just cut. Now we're just going to sew from here down to the first folding line, so it's only the first part here. Now you can see the sewing line, and we can cut open this a little bit so we can flatten it out. It's easier when you turn over. We cut open this little piece. Now we can open up the top piece, and then we can flip over. And you can see we just created a mitered corner, and we just tuck the rest inside. Remember, we sew the 45-degree up to the first fold, and we leave the rest of the area open so we can fold it back under. And we give it iron. It'll be a nice 45-degree finish. And now you can see the finished corner. We just create a pocket, and we can insert fleece or any backing you like under it, and we will just sew on top of that. All the corner can be done in the same way. For this corner, one side has a finished edge and the other side is a new. We just cut it. We have two folded lines because we are going to fold it one more time and then fold it over. And this side, it's the same. You can see the two folding line. It has more than two folds, but it doesn't matter. If you want, you can cut out the outermost one because you don't really need that. We are going to fold it one more time for the finished one. So you can see the line we are going to sew. I already draw a 45-degree line, and the dash line is about 1/4 inch from the sewing line. So we can cut the dash line here to take out all the extra fabric first. Now I cut the dash line here, and we are ready to fold it up and sew. So I folded it half. So we are going to sew from the folding line on the top all the way down to the second folding line here. From here to here, and not all the way through. And this is another corner. I already marked it, cut it, and this is where I want to sew. From the top here, go down to the first folding line. I mark it darker purple so you can see it. After we sew the line, we can cut the back open, or you can cut it in an angle so we can open it up like that. And it's easier to turn over to the other side. After we finish all the corners, we can just insert our fleece and tuck in under the mitered corner. It's like a pocket here, and we just place it under, and we can sew a line or two lines along the edges on four sides, and we'll be done. So I pin it up, and I'm just going to sew a straight line, but you can also sew a zigzag line or a decorative stitch. And remember to pivot your sewing needle at the mitered corner. So that's the mouse pad we just made. I hope you like this project. Happy sewing!